Hello, world. This is Twani Price, host of Abroad Drinking Wine podcast, where we discuss the ultimate life abroad, living like a local, launching my wine business in Cape Town, and helping locals start businesses. All this while drinking wine in a foreign country. Hello, world. It's Twani Price, Abroad Drinking Wine and during wine tasting, and I am here with one of my most favorite people in the wine industry,
Lia Jones in the house.
Lia Jones. Yes. Hi, welcome, Lia. So we actually met up, excuse the noise, but we are on location. We actually met up at Motor City Winery or Wine
Motor
Bar?
City Wine Shop and Wine Bar.
Yeah, Motor City Wine Shop and Wine Bar. So we met up here.
In Detroit.
Yes, in Detroit. We're both visiting our dads. I think
randomly.
Yes, randomly.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think it should be a hashtag, great dads live in Detroit, right? Like,
the best dads.
Dads come from Detroit. Like, you don't know how many people I know on Facebook. I'm like, I'm in Detroit for my dad's birthday. And they're like, my dad lives in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, first off, let's just say dads in Detroit make wonderful daughters.
Like us.
Yes.
I mean, you know, to be humble.
I know, to be a little humble. But anyway, so I'm super happy. Last time I saw you was in South Africa.
Right.
And I just want to know, like, what's been going on since then? What's going on? So Lia has this nonprofit. It's called Diversity in Wine, and it actually tries to highlight and spotlight people in the wine industry that look like we, first of all, that are black, that are women, that are Latinos, and transgender. And she just tries to make sure that everybody in the wine industry, excuse the motorcycle, but this is real live, but everybody in the wine industry is, like, included, right?
Absolutely. When we look at diversity, we look at diversity from all spectrums. So that means people of color, but we're talking about gender, we're talking about race, we're talking about people that are able-bodied or disabled, all spectrums, you know? So,
nice.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually connect with you on U.S. territory. I mean, I wish we were both in South Africa right now. I'm not going to lie.
I wish too.
We didn't have enough time. But what have you been doing since you've gotten back? Like, what's something that you're working on?
Well, since I've gotten back, I've done a couple of seminars for different conferences. One in particular was a seminar at a sommelier conference called SAMCON. They have 2 conferences per year, one in Washington, D.C., the other in San Diego. Our seminar that we put on was called Viewing Wines Through the Lens of Diversity, where we incorporate different wines that encompasses some part of the diversity spectrum. And we also talk to people in our industry that have a personal story in regards to diversity, and they share it with the attendees. It's kind of almost like mentorship and
Introspective,
exactly.
Yeah, you know what, but I'm just going to stop Lia just for a quick second because, you know, the way she said it, she was like, yeah, it's this little conference that I do and I host this panel. And actually, SAMCOM is a really big deal. It's a very big deal. It's a national conference. I've been to SAMCOM a couple times, and it's a really amazing experience. And I remember going to the conference, and I haven't gone like this year to experience your panel, but I remember going and thinking, wow, this is so much information. There's so many people who are like at the top echelon of the wine world. There's like master somms who attend, who teach classes. There's distributors. There's all kind of people from all spectrums and all the value chains in the wine world who attend SAMCOM. So it's a big conference. It's a big deal.
Well, no, it's definitely a big conference, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of it. I'm the first person to actually be able to hold a diversity seminar, which is a big thing in our industry. I think a lot of times when we talk about diversity, people have one of 2 reactions. One is very inviting, and the other is like, oh, well, what does that mean? And for them, it's looking internally of how they represent diversity. And I feel like some companies feel that they don't have diversity. And when they're called out or when they have that topic presented to them, they can be a little standoffish. So,
I kind of feel like some people look at diversity as exclusion or like you're excluding something, right? But I feel like diversity is just ensuring that everything is included. So it's not a negative, it's more so of a positive to making sure that everybody has a seat at the table.
I think that's an interesting point that you bring up, and that's why we do our nonprofit on an international. We do it on an international level because when we talk about exclusion, diversity translates to different things internationally. It depends on where you are. In the U.S., it's primarily gender and race. And when we talk about diversity specifically in America, I think people think exclusion of white male, especially in the beverage industry, which is not something that we're promoting. What we do is we promote diversity, which includes the majority, which is a white male in the beverage industry.
Right.
We need to work together. I like to be in a room where it's white males, Asian females, transgender people, people with disabilities, people that are eccentric and, I don't know, paint their hair blue when they go to a SOM conference. You know, it's about accepting everybody. Everybody needs to be a part of the puzzle to complete it.
It's kind of like wine in essence of itself, right? Because when you think about wine, like, you know, some people can have a very limited view of wine and they can only think Cabernet, Chardonnay, and grapes that you can focus on as well.
Our seminar actually did stick to typical wine grapes because I think a lot of people that go to SomCon are people that are studying to be an MW or MS, or they're on some trajectory for education, and they have to have some kind of basis, some kind of platform. So we did stick to typical grapes because we did a blind tasting, and we wanted people to at least be able to identify what the wines would be in terms of variety. So we more focused on location rather than the actual grape variety, right?
So when you say location, you mean location of like where the grapes come from?
Yes,
place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Casa Madero was one wine that we blind tasted, which was a Mexican wine, but we included it because not a lot of people know that Casa Madero is a Mexican wine, and that's the first winery in the Americas, period.
Right.
But it's not something that you can easily find in the U.S., right? We also included wines from South Africa, Asalina with Ntsiki Biala.
Ntsiki, yes. Ntsiki. I love Ntsiki.
Right?
Yeah, she's actually one of my great friends.
She's amazing. I thought that was really important to have her wine there. And again, she works with common wines like Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc.
Cabernet Sauvignon, yeah.
Right. But we included her because she is the first South African winemaker. First black female South African winemaker.
Yeah. Well, she's the first person to graduate from Stellenbosch University with a winemaking degree. So there are a couple more black winemakers before her.
Yes.
She's the first one to graduate from Stellenbosch University, which is a historic university, with that winemaking degree.
Right.
Yeah, and Ntsiki is amazing though. She's pretty awesome. Yes. Okay. You know what? I interrupted Lia while she was eating. So we're gonna take a small break. We're gonna let her take a couple bites of food. We're gonna pour some more wine. We're gonna tell you exactly what we're drinking and like how we selected the wine that we're drinking today in Detroit, Michigan. We are in D-Town.
I'm excited, and you know what? I'm excited about the wine that we're tasting. I didn't expect it to be here, so yeah. You know.
So we'll let you guys know exactly, like when we come back, what we're drinking and how we selected the wine that we're drinking. There was a great selection, so we narrowed it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm happy with what we have. So
yeah, so we'll be back. Now we're back. So I am back. I'm here with Lia Jones, sommelier extraordinaire, world traveler, and we've had like a little bit to eat, and we've been drinking some wine. We're actually drinking Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wine by Andre Mac Houston. Whoop whoop, give it up for Andre. Maison Noir Wines, and he makes his wine and he bottles his wines out of Oregon. And I've been a fan of Mac ever since I really started my business. He was one of my first supporters of Wine Over LA. I remember I texted him, emailed him. I basically harassed him, and he worked it out with his distributors to send me some, I think it was Drunken Love. That's what
I love Drunken Love. That rosé is really good. I had it recently. I had it recently. It's
and
really
then
good.
OPP, Other People's
OPP is
Pinot.
good, yes.
Yes.
That's a good one, too.
But I had never tasted the horseshoes and hand grenades. And so we immediately tasted it, and we kind of messed up our palate because
we had some Fernet. But
we were trying to like show off, and I was like, do you have an industry discount? Because we're in the industry, you know, you got to tell people that when you travel. And they were like, oh, we have something special for you. So he gave us a shot of this. What is it called?
It's a Fernet. But the Fernet, the popular one is Fernet Branca, but this Fernet was it from Mexico? Did you say?
It's from Mexico.
Okay. And it was saying that the number one drinkers of Fernet are Argentinians, but typically it's made in Italy. I think it was a little bit too strong to start off before tasting Andre's wine.
So it's basically an aperitif, and it's very alcoholic, very sweet. So
herbaceous. It's like a sweet mixture. It's a balance between herbaceousness and sweetness, right? So
but something you definitely don't want to drink before you start to taste a wine.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we got this horseshoes and hand grenades, and I was super excited to see that it was in this wine shop. Like, I went and perused the wine shop while I waited for Leah, and I saw this one, and I was like, okay, for sure, I'm going to support Andre. I'm going to buy this one for sure. But then I also saw a couple cool ones that I wanted to buy. Like, they had a Detroit wine.
Right. And I think it's made by a Detroit winery. There's a lot of good Michigan wines. I'm really surprised. How do you feel about Michigan wines?
Oh, I'm a fan. I actually tasted some in the airport. I actually have a podcast that I'm going to publish about the Michigan wines that I tasted. I tasted some in the airport, a sparkling wine, a Riesling, and then a Pinot Noir. And I think the theme of the Michigan wines is like high acidity. So they were all high in acids, and I felt like they were well balanced.
Okay, good structure.
Good structure.
All right.
And I heard that Michigan wine country is beautiful. It's like up near the lakes. Traverse County or Traverse City.
Well, if we have time, hopefully we can hit up a winery before we leave the D.
And that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready for us yet.
I don't know. I don't think so either. So how did you feel about the wine? I want to ask your opinion before I give mine.
So I was a little taken aback just because we had the aperitif before, and then I'm so used to having like Pinot Noir from Andre that when I first tasted, I was like, before I even read the label, right, all I saw was horseshoes and grenades, and I recognized Andre's logo, so I didn't read what it was. So I was expecting Pinot Noir, and when I tasted it, I was like, oh no, this is not a Pinot Noir. And I was like, okay, definitely it has, like, for me, it tastes like it has some Syrah in it. And then it says, I don't know what the varietal it is. So that's the thing that's hard for me to distinguish. But I think it's a drinkable wine. It's a fun wine. It's something that, you know, it's friendly. It's very fruit forward. I think that it's a crowd-pleasing wine.
I'll be honest with you, out of all of Andre Mac's wines that I've had, like I said, I love the rosé. He does an amazing Pinot, the Argonne. Or is that how you pronounce it, Argonne?
Yeah, that's his higher end Pinot.
That is amazing. That really...
I don't know if it's Argonne or Oregon. I don't know.
No, it's Argonne. It's like a play on Bourgogne.
Is it Argonian?
No. It's like Argonne.
Okay.
It's a play on Burgundy. It's a really good wine. I think it has really good balance, structure, long finish. This wine, I think that I was just a little thrown off because we started with the Fernet. It started to open up the more we drank it. It's just not typically the style of wine that I prefer. I think it had like a nice, juicy...
crowd-pleasing, fruit-driven, not a lot of tannins.
No, it didn't have, probably like medium tannins, if we're talking about like... Yeah.
I would say even medium minus tannins.
Okay,
And very fruit driven. Like, I mean, so much to the point where, like, if somebody, it's like, you know how people say, I want a sweet red wine, and they don't mean a port, but they just mean something very fruit forward. I would recommend this one. I was like, if you want a fruit-forward red wine, something with low tannins, this is your one.
I'm going to agree. And it's kind of like a play on the hand grenades, because I feel like it's a hand grenades of fruit on the palate.
Yeah. But you know what? That can go either way, because if it were hand grenade, I would expect more tannins, you know?
Okay. Hand grenade for tannin, because it's a stronger, like, president. Yeah.
So, but I can see the hand grenade for the fruit.
I think it's powerful in terms of fruit and in terms of, like, that presence.
Yeah, but like I said, that's why I called it a crowd pleaser. So I feel like if you were serving this wine to, like, a group of people who are maybe novice wine drinkers, who are, like, at a party, this would be a perfect wine.
So wait a minute, just so you know, my dad's here. He's, like, watching us do the podcast. Dad, did you like the wine? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. All right.
Yeah. All right, we got a thumbs up from Dad.
Yep.
And then I think it's a great value, right? So the retail price is $19 a bottle.
In Detroit.
Detroit. So. Yeah, and it's from Oregon.
Is it from, because it says American red wine, so that means that he could source the juice from...
Bottled by Maison. Oh, yeah. And
so
you know what? And probably because I'm pretty sure, I'm going to text Andre, but I taste a little bit of, like, Syrah in this. So I'm thinking that maybe it's American red wine, because maybe he got some Syrah from Washington State. Washington State is literally, like, miles away from Oregon, and maybe that's why he called it American wine.
I definitely get me in on that text, because I'm curious to know what's in here.
It'll be a group text. We're literally going to text him right after this podcast and see what he says.
And we were actually eating. So we're at the Motor City
Wine.
Right, and they had a little pop-up of Scottish. It's like a Scottish bakery. It's their. They've been here from 1949. They deliver.
They ship too around the world.
Yes, they shipped around the world. But we had a classic meat pie.
Around the United States. I don't know if it's the world, but around.
No, they said United States. Yeah. But we had the classic meat pie and a vegan meat pie, and I thought that it paired very well with what I had. I had the actual meat pie with the ground beef and seasoning, and it was good. I think it paired very well with that. You know, so.
Yeah. So I would say thumbs up. I mean, thumbs up.
I'm giving it a thumbs. I'm going to give it a thumbs.
Sideways. Like 45 degree.
I'm going to give it a thumbs sideways, because as a person that loves Andre Mack's wines, I don't think that this is the wine for me out of his whole collection. And I think he has amazing wines. This just for me, like this specific. Not that the wine isn't good. It's just not my
style.
It's not my style of wine.
I think that's so important too, because I'm gonna get off topic a little bit, but I think that's like if somebody says, if I say, oh, I don't really like the wine, some people might be offended, right? But that just means that the wine is not necessarily my style.
Right.
Like, everybody has a different style of wine, and I think it's important to listen to context clues when you hear people talk about the wines. Like, what is it that you like in wines? Because honestly, the truth be told, I like my wine like I like my men.
Old, white, and expensive?
No.
Oh.
Dark, rich, and strong.
Okay.
I
didn't know where we were going with that. But yeah, in another podcast, I think this is important. I think there's a lot of people that know that there's really good quality wines, and they have this preconceived notions that, I'm going to have a first growth wine, for example, and they already know that if they're having a tasting, well, this is an amazing wine, they'll say it's a good wine, but it doesn't mean that it's a wine that's for you. Like, you can have a wine that is expensive, that is good quality, good structure, has everything, and it actually might not be wine that you like.
Because if you're not used to drinking Bordeaux style wines,
right,
a first growth might mean absolutely nothing to you. It might be something that you don't even like.
No, yeah.
You might not like that earthiness, that, you know, you just might not like it, you know?
And one thing, going to South Africa, I'm a big proponent of Pinotage. And I love Pinotage. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that, you know, there's a lot of wine snobbery.
But I think that's just because they don't understand the grape Pinotage.
I think Pinotage is a very hard grape to grow, and it's very hard to get it done right. And there's very few people that do it right. So,
Yeah.
With that being said, I think like I said, I love pinotage, but generally speaking, it's not as easy to find good quality made pinotages. It's a very hard,
especially in the U.S.
Especially in the
U.S. Now in South Africa, there's a lot of small producers who focus on pinotage, like Granger's. Absolutely love his pinotage, and he does a vintage pinotage, so he only releases them after 10 years, and they're freaking amazing.
Okay.
And then like there's some people who do like old vines pinotage,
right,
and those are amazing. I feel like when you drink pinotage, it just gives you that sense of place of South Africa, because it's more like, it's a lot more complex than people think. Like, I think the ones that have been imported into the United States, the pinotage, they're just like jammy.
You think they lack complexity?
They lack complexity.
Okay.
And they're jammy, and they're just jammy for no reason.
Right.
But the ones that I'm talking about in South Africa, they can be jammy, they can be dusty, they can have like layers of flavors, like rumble, blackberry, just like all these different layers of flavors.
Right.
And then they can linger on. But the ones that are in California, most of them that I've tasted in California,
thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Bum.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like pinotage.
Yeah.
It's taking me back to South Africa right now.
Yeah.
Man. Leah.
It was really good. This was really nice to see you. You don't understand. People, if you go to South Africa, what you need to do is hit this girl up right here, and you will have the time of your life. I'm really, really excited to have had the pleasure to know you. Like, I've had a lot of good times in South Africa, and like this is now another memory to create, and it was good.
Yes, and the feeling is so mutual. Like, I'm super excited about SomCom. I can't wait. I mean, and if you're going to be in the San Diego area,
San Diego, November.
In November, and I'm actually going to try to work with Lia and put together some kind of trip. We're in LA. We can take the train down, go spend a day at SomCom, listen to her talk. I know she's going to try to plan some happy hours. She's going to try to get some winemakers, diverse winemakers in the room.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, so I cannot wait. I can't wait.
It's going to be really lit.
It's going to be lit. And that's what we're doing. We are lighting up the wine world.
Right.
We're trying to introduce people into this wine life like no other.
And you know what? Congratulations on you on the LA Times.
If
you guys haven't seen it, so this is we're in July, and she was just featured in the LA Times, and I'm on Facebook, and I see Tawani on like the front page of the LA Times. I'm like, I know her. Transforming the industry, so congratulations on that.
I love it, and I feel like that's what we're both trying to do. And we have so many other people that we work with, so many wine sisters and brothers that we're just trying to make sure that, you know what, we all have a seat at the table.
Right.
And if they don't want to give us a seat at the table,
we're gonna take it,
we'll build our own
table.
We'll build our own.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a proponent of. So like, we're building our own table, and I always say, if you build it, they will come. And honestly, people love the culture.
I don't mind taking a table either. No, I'm kidding. But but you're right. No, building another table.
Yeah. Or building another table, or just like making a space
more
for
inclusive.
us. Making a space for us at the existing table.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying. But if that space is not there, we'll build our own until we get to that main table.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so we are checking out. Cheers. Good wines, good vibes.
And hopefully you'll have me on again, and we can recap how SomCon went. I'm sure it's going to go amazing. There's a lot more other wine conferences that Diversity in Wine and Spirits will be involved in. So check us out on Instagram, Facebook.
And you guys have a website, right?
Yeah, it is called diversityandwineandspirits.org.
Yeah, so check them out. You can find all the information on the podcast, links to their Instagram page, links to their Twitter page and Facebook page.
No Twitter, we're not tweeters.
I'm not big on Twitter either.
We're not big Twitters. Tweeters, is that we tweetsters? Yeah.
Tweetsters? No, I'm not big on Twitter either, but Instagram for sure.
Yeah, Instagram for sure.
Instagram and Facebook for sure, and then their website. So you can find all of their contact information. And just, if you have any questions in general, just reach out to Lia. She loves to answer questions. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.